Hello! Your favorite anime recap guy is here, with some much-needed reminiscing of the impressive, magical abilities of the mighty Overlord. Did I just appoint myself your favorite? You bet I did! Before we go ahead and make an attempt of listing out 25 super cool and wonderful spells, let's do a somewhat brief introductory lesson into the Overlord himself. Satoru Suzuki is an ordinary salaryman who goes home to an empty house after long and monotonous days of work, and he indulges in playing an online VR game. As Manga, Satoru has acquired a high level in this multiplayer role-playing game called Yggdrasil, and has built a guild of his online friends that he plays with. Having lost his mother at an early age and never really received any fatherly love either, the memories he created with his guildmates playing the game was the sole guilty pleasure in his life. He might have been stingy with money in the real world, but would find himself spending money equal to about 1/3 of his already meager monthly salary to acquire skills and spells to level up in the game. All of us can relate to this in one way or another, can't we? Unfortunately, something that happened with Satoru is what we can only hope happens to us one day. Till then, we are stuck in this life. One day, Satoru is transported into the game to the new world and hopes to find his guildmates who had stopped playing the game. He eventually grows into his role as a leader of the world where there is equality between humans and non-humans. In the new world, while his empathy is muted, his sense of humanity remains intact since he remembers having a heart. Since Satoru spent real money to purchase a series of instant death and summoning spells for Manga, he now has access to all of them in the new world as Ainz. In addition to these, he develops his skills to a massively impressive level. What follows ahead is 25 of the abilities and skills, in absolutely no particular order, that anyone would hope to have access to in this big, bad, so-called real world that we live in. Alright, let's dive in. Number 1. Shockwave. Shockwave is a second-tier spell, emitting an invisible shockwave to distort the air and quite easily destroy full-plate armor. When used along with Maximize Magic, well, the destruction doesn't even need to be described. 2. Lopsided Duel. This spell bounds the caster of the spell to the target of the spell in such a way that in case the target intends to flee by teleporting, the caster follows, and both appear in the same location together. Obviously, the biggest disadvantage here is that in the case the target teleports to a place where they know they will be helped, then the caster will pretty much end up in enemy territory. But in such cases, the caster can teleport away without a following target. Well, this will mean you fled, but, well. Number 3. Grasp Heart. First used on the soldiers that attacked Carne Village, the Grasp Heart is a deadly skill, which more often than not spells death of the instant kind for the one on the receiving end. Favored by Ainz himself, this 9th tier spell gives the caster the ability to summon their opponent's heart, which can then be crushed. Oh, extremely satisfying, isn't it? I'm sure we all have a few exes we would like to use this on. Oh, God knows I do. Anyway. Number 4. True Death. Another doom-delivering spell, True Death nullifies the effects of lower-tier resurrection magic. In the battle with Gazif, this super cool skill produced an impactful and powerful elimination. 5. Ray of Negative Energy. This offensive spell casts, of course, a ray of negative energy that causes damage to living things. What's extremely interesting, well, alright, mildly interesting about this little curious thing is that when this one hits a non-living being, it has the power to heal them instead. Lovely, isn't it? Number 6. Summon Undead. Short on troops to go to battle on your behalf, Overlord doesn't relate, as he has the ability to summon the actual undead and put them to good use. Well, it is good use if a bunch of scary-looking undead can do your dirty deeds for you, isn't it? Number 7. Undead Control, Domination, Strengthening. Now, because it isn't really all that awesome to just be able to summon the undead, this crazy guy can control them too. Ainz has the ability to mentally dominate the mind and soul of the undead as their controller, or as the much more authoritative term, their master. Such enslaved undead cannot lie or hide information from Ainz. If this wasn't enough, the undead can even be enhanced to be better versions than their original selves. Them dirty deeds sure be successfully accomplished. Number 8. Energy Drain. Necromancy's special 8th tier spell, Energy Drain, is a sneaky little thing that effectively drains the opponent's levels. Consequently, there are multiple advantages to such depletion, which depends on the number of levels that are drained. Number 9. Reality Slash. Everyone knows the massive damage caused to Shaltir and her Valkyrie armor due to this one. Reality Slash is a 10th tier spell that grants one the ability to tamper with reality and erase anything that gets in your way. A huge disadvantage of using this is that it drains a ton of mana. As they say, though, desperate times call for desperate measures. Number 10. Negative Burst. As its name suggests, this one sends out a big black sphere of negative energy from around the caster's body and attacks all the enemies it comes in contact with, even killing them. Number 11. Remote Viewing. Very technologically advanced, this one spectacularly allows the caster to view distant objects and locations. Surely a great way to plan and plot your next move. Number 12. Bless of Titania. This is a mighty 9th tier spell that results in the appearance of a tiny fairy which will then guide the caster along the least perilous path ahead. Oh, if only we could get whatever we wanted, we surely would want a Bless of Titania to lead us through life. What, just me? Oh, liars! Number 13. Hellflame. Initially a tiny little flame, this 7th tier spell transforms into a wild inferno when it finds its target. Everything that Hellflame touches turns to ashes, making it the actual flame from hell. This one has the capacity to cause damage even to individuals immune to fire. Super cool. Or rather, super hot. 14. Dragon Lightning. Ever seen a dragon-shaped lightning bolt? Well, this 5th tier spell really does shoot out a lightning bolt in the shape of a dragon. An upgrade that works amazingly well against metal armor is the Dragon Chain Lightning, which can strike not just its intended target, but other enemies in the surrounding area as well. Number 15. Dimensional Lock. With beings of multiple dimensions involved here, Dimensional Lock lets Ainz trap the enemy and its army in the present dimension by locking their teleportation and transfer magic. No running away from Ainz in battle. You either die or you die. Number 16. Time Stop. Yet another mighty 10th tier spell is the Time Stop. With this in place, nobody apart from the caster can move about freely. Initially beginning with stopping time for a few seconds at a time, Ainz Ooal Gown has come a long way to now being able to stop time indefinitely. Can we maybe contact him on a cozy and lazy Monday morning, so we don't have to get out of bed? I'm just asking for a friend. Number 17. Vermilion Nova. The Vermilion Nova attacks the target with a bright pillar of flame and causes fire damage. Ainz considers this one to be one of the highest level super tier magic, especially when used together with triplet magic and maximize magic. This one can wreak total havoc. Number 18. Obsidian Sword. This creates a large black sword that locks in on a target like a missile. The power of the Obsidian Sword lies in the fact that since it is created by magic, physical attacks do not cause a lot of damage to it. But it is also such that an Obsidian Sword has to always be used to attack and not for defense. If it happens to be used defensively, it will actively lose durability and eventually shatter. Number 19. Resurrection. What's immensely impressive about our guy Ainz is that not only can he grant people their doom, but he can get them back to life as well. Talk about a well-balanced being. Using the coins of his treasury, Ainz can grant certain resurrection, restoring the resurrected to their natural best state, eliminating any conditions that were present at the time of their death previously. Another cool way of resurrection is by using the True Resurrection Wand, as seen during the resurrection of the Lizard Tribe. If this wasn't enough, Ainz can even resurrect himself. Now imagine how exhausting it would be to have an enemy pop up alive no matter how many times you kill him. Immortality for the win! Woohoo! Number 20. Fallen Down. An extremely heated, bright pillar of light that causes living beings in its range to cease existing? That's the mighty Fallen Down for you. It even kills the undead. What more do you want? Number 21. The goal of all life is death. As philosophical as this sounds, this is one of Ainz's most powerful special skills and comes from the 5th and the highest level in Eclipse. In case you've forgotten, Eclipse is mighty hard to acquire, as only an Overlord with specialized necromancy and instant death skills are eligible. The goal of all life is death takes the form of a ticking clock, destroying everything in its targeted range once the time runs out. No form of immunity except an ingrained resurrection skill can save you if you're found in the range of this all-powerful, almost instant death spell. The downside here is that this can only be used again after 100 hours of cooldown time. Number 22. Meteorfall. A meteor falling from the sky with a shimmering light that causes temporary sightlessness for onlookers? Yes, please! And it doesn't end here. Ripping through the air, when Meteorfall hits its target, it explodes on contact, thus flattening everything it touches and pulverizes targets in the surrounding area as well. Number 23. Wish upon a Star. This is a super tier spell which grants the user a wish by consuming experience points. While it cannot surpass the powerful effects of world items, it still is mighty impactful in bringing about the impossible. Number 24. Despair Aura. The Despair Aura is a neat little handy skill that can cause fear, panic, confusion, insanity, and instant death in progressive levels from 1 through 5. Fear imposes a penalty on all actions and can even reduce the stats of the target. Panic is a step ahead of fear, which is a result of the addition of multiple fear. Panic's target is rendered helpless when it comes to making any combat-related decisions against the user of this ability. Furthermore, if the target has absolutely no recovery measures in place, this causes confusion and even its permanent version, namely insanity. After insanity, well, be sure to find instant death down this road. And number 25, Lashob Nigurav. While this super tier spell seems like a crazy keyboard smash, this is actually a black cyclone with the ability to destroy and instantly kill everything in its range. Furthermore, the victims caught in this cyclone are sacrificed to summon monsters of levels over 90 known as the Dark Young. The number of summoned Dark Young is directly proportional to the total sacrifices. For instance, about 70,000 humans are equivalent to 5 Dark Young. The Dark Young are extremely powerful and highly intelligent monsters with the ability to instigate fear and insanity in the humans around them. There are so many more than just these 25, and we could really be here all day and more if we really got down to discussing it all. Be that as it may, definitely tell me which magical ability you wish you possessed to tolerate the craziness of the real world in the comments below. While we patiently wait for the next season, you can easily catch up on all things Overlord in our season recap videos. As always, I gotcha. I am your favorite anime recap guy after all. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well so I can see you super soon. See ya!